following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com.
Tuning into Viewpoint on 96.3 FM, WLCN. Folks, we have two wonderful guests with us today. If you want to call in, if you have any questions, kudos, anything, please feel free to call in. The phone line is, or the phone number is 217-648-5510. Today we have Karen and Nila from Lincoln Daily News with us. Welcome to the Radio Ranch, ladies. So I'm glad you made it out. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is coming up in October, correct? Yes. And before we kind of dive into everything we're going to discuss about cancer, ladies, get your mammograms done October. So if you haven't done it already, get it scheduled and get that taken care of. But you are here to talk about a lot of things with the American Cancer Society. There's the Pink Pumpkin auction coming up here. When did the auction start, actually? So,
our first auction was in 2018, and we held it the first Thursday in October, and that became our set date. From then on is when we did it. We did auctions in 18 and 19 and 20. We weren't able to do them because of COVID. Then we resumed them in 21. And so this would be our seventh one, seventh year.
Have you always had it there at Collision Concepts? Mm-hmm. So a special kudos to them. And if you're wondering where Collision Concepts is, it's right on Woodlawn Road, directly across from Culver's right there. And they open up their shop, I understand.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing whenever we have guests come in. The place where the food is served. It's hard to imagine that 12 hours or even 5 hours earlier it was a part-time because they clean everything out and make it absolutely beautiful and sophisticated. And the shop where that they work on the cars, they get every car out, they scrub the floors.
It's squeaky clean.
And I mean, it is
just absolutely stunning. And then we spend the afternoon getting the auction items arranged, and when people come in, they're really impressed. But if we didn't have that venue, it's huge. It does a good job for us, and I don't think we could do as well as we do if we didn't have that venue.
Photos from the past, of the auction items, but then, of course, in the background is the building, and it's white, it's bright, it looks inviting, and so the Guyette family is a wonderful family. So, to open up their business and the employees of Collision Concepts, a special kudos. That's wonderful.
And to back up a little bit, Cindy and Roy Logan were the ones that came up with this idea for Pink Pumpkin. So they actually started the idea rolling, and so it's only appropriate that Cindy be a host and be a part of that. And even though Roy's gone, she's a warrior for this and a champion for cancer. So that's a neat story, and
that is a neat story. I didn't realize that. That's wonderful.
And she was moved to do it because two very close friends of hers had breast cancer, and she helped them on their journey and help them through their battle, and they're survivors now, praise the Lord for that. But it kind of touched home to her personally and in a very real sense right at that moment. She was going through that while we were working on the first Pink Pumpkin auction. So
Pink Pumpkin is everything pumpkins that's pink, or what do people expect when they do come there? It
started out being that way, and it was something that Roy and Cindy had found online about decorating pumpkins pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and they kind of cultivated this idea of, okay, let's have everybody decorate a pink pumpkin and we'll sell them. And after so many years, you can only buy so many pink pumpkins. And so last year we opened it up and changed the way the auction was presented to people. And we got a remarkable response.
Wonderful.
Last year alone, we raised $37,000 in one night.
That is wonderful.
There's still a lot of pink. And there's still a lot of pink pumpkins, but there's a lot of larger and nicer and miscellaneous items that people would, come for an auction to get, So.
Yeah. I remember somebody saying last year, Jake Johnson from Jake's Furnishings donated a recliner sofa.
A reclining sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it brought $3,000.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we had the Susan B. Coleman bicycle was donated to us to auction off, and
wonderful.
It brought about that much too, and it was pink. And then
neat.
the lady that bought it gave it back to us.
So we have it again for this year.
And just to give her a shout out, because she's so wonderful, that's Lori at Bees.
Okay. Yeah.
And she bought it, and then she brought it in and said, here, sell it again this year.
Oh,
and
that's
so
wonderful.
That's what we're going to do.
Good.
So we're looking forward to that. And so we have pink items. We have, Marcia Hurley. I'm sure you probably know her. Does a lot of quilting. And last year, she had sold a quilt to Seth Goodman at the Pork and Apple Festival. Seth donated it to the Pink Pumpkin auction. And it was not a pink quilt. It brought in an enormous amount of money. So this year, she did a pink quilt in honor of her mother, who had cancer, and donated it. So we're looking forward to having that in the auction. We have a lot of just amazing items.
So the doors open up there at 5 o'clock on October 3rd. And so from 5 to 6, on the flyer is the silent auction items itself, correct?
Right.
So, and then I believe what you said at 6:15 we start the live auction items.
Around 6:15. If we've got a lot of people doing battle over a silent auction, sometimes we'll give them a few minutes grace period. The silent auction items, typically they don't bring us much money, so people that want to contribute and want to take something home that says I contributed, they can participate in silent and probably not invest that $3,000 or $4,000. But then the folks that really want, and that's all it is, they've got money in their pocket and they want to give, and they're going to take something from the live auction, or they're going to badger a buddy until they get him up to $3,000 or $4,000 and then dump it on him. And it ends up being a lot of fun. We work, and our auctioneers do a great job of working the crowd and antagonizing, and it ends up being a comical affair sometimes.
And the money raised from this event, it stays locally, correct?
The money that is raised goes to the American Cancer
Okay,
Society.
it comes back into Logan County.
Yeah,
It does.
so
Yes.
we will take the debit cards, we process those through the Friends and Family Relay for Life team. The checks, we ask people to make those out directly to American Cancer Society. And then whenever that we are all done with the tally, we write the last check based on what is in the bank account from the debit card, credit cards, and the cash payments. So it all goes to American Cancer Society. And yeah, the money stays close by because it is utilized by cancer warriors. It is utilized by university hospitals. Some of the university hospitals right here in Illinois, the University of Illinois in Chicago got $1.5 million last year to do research. The American College of Surgery got money for research. University of Chicago got money. Carl Foundation in Champaign got money for for patient support. OSF St. Francis gets money for patient support. And of course, then a lot of money goes to Mayo Clinic, and we all know that Mayo Clinic is a great research hospital. And American Cancer supports them, and they are out of state, but a lot of people from Illinois benefit from what is gained there. And all of the research benefits all cancer
Everybody.
warriors.
Right.
Everything that they discover, whether it's discovered by someone in California or someone in St. Louis, it benefits everyone. So, yeah, the money, it stays local in those ways. And then there are support groups that you can call. You can go on to the American Cancer Society website and get involved with support groups. You can seek help if you need motel stays. Last year alone, they provided motel stays to 8,500 individuals.
Wow.
And that is in addition to, whatever charitable groups might have applied for money. That's just for cancer warriors. 8,500 received motel stays.
And when we talk
American
about
Cancer.
the warriors, we're talking about the survivors, the cancer survivors.
Warriors are actively battling cancer.
Okay.
That's where we classify them. We have one lady, her name is Castelein. She has had cancer of multiple varieties for many, many years. She is the sweetest, happiest, most optimistic person you'll ever want to meet. And I said, she's not a victim. Nobody wants to feel sorry for her. She doesn't want anyone to feel sorry for her. She's a fighter. She's a warrior. And so that's kind of what got us started referring to them more as warriors, than victims. Victims makes it sound like, I don't know, you're part of a crime or something, and you're not. You're fighting for your life, and you're a warrior.
Yeah. And folks, if you're sitting there going, I don't need to go, I don't need to give, it's American Cancer Society, sit back and think. You may not have had cancer, but somebody in your life, whether it be a family relative, a friend, someone you go to church with, they, some way and somehow shape, cancer has, been around you, I guess you can say, or somebody, but if you can say no, well, I don't know if your head's stuck in the sand or you're just oblivious to it, but it's, somebody that has fought it, has won, but then, God forbid too, has also, passed from it, so, but, we're all here for everyone, no matter what, so, but.
And we also do the Paint the Paper Pink, where we do the pink shirt pictures.
Yes.
And we run those in Lincoln Daily News. That's part of this whole package. But when we first started doing those, about the same time we started the Pink Pumpkin Auction, when we would go out, we would gather people together, clubs, organizations, companies, small business. And one of the first things that we would say is, how many of you know someone who's had breast cancer? And just limiting it to breast cancer, we would have every hand raised. And that is just, it's a huge disease. This year alone, approximately 300,000 women in Illinois will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And now here's your clunker. 3,000 men will be diagnosed with breast cancer. It does not
specifically
a female
yeah.
issue. It is a human issue. And while, male breast cancer is much more rare, it's still possible.
Mm-hmm. And when we started this, the awareness that's what we wanted to do, is raise awareness, because in the state of Illinois, Logan County was the highest in the state for breast cancer at that time. And now, because of awareness and because people doing mammograms and learning about it and detecting it sooner, we're way down on that ladder now compared to 7 years ago. So we're winning a battle through awareness to get people to check and to get to the doctor sooner and to detect it so that it doesn't become the killer that it used to be.
That's unreal. 7 years ago, we were the highest, really, in
the state.
For the state.
Yeah.
But so kudos to everybody. I mean, we've come a long way in 7 years. So.
And one of the things that we talk about a lot is early detection saves lives. Mortality rates for breast cancer was as high as they were for lung cancer. Higher, as a matter of fact, a few years ago. We're seeing those mortality rates come down. And it's because with early detection, cancer is curable. It is, you can get to the point where that you can say, I am cancer-free. It's gone, and you never get to the point where you don't think about it. It's always on your mind. My 35-year-old daughter-in-law, she was 35 whenever she got breast cancer. She is a 12-year survivor, thinks about it every day, still has her port. They say we're going to keep it in there as long as it doesn't get infected or anything like that, and she takes good care, and
wonderful.
Just in case.
Yeah.
And that right there is a constant reminder.
Well, we're going to take a quick time out, let our sponsors, we're going to pay some bills from our sponsors, and come back here in a couple of minutes here on Viewpoint on 96.3.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
An accident or injury can happen any day. If you're living without health insurance, now is the time to find a health insurance plan to protect you and your family. New, low-cost plans cover doctor's visits, hospital stays, prescriptions, preventative care, and more. And you could get a tax credit to help you afford insurance. So call me, Dara Entwistle, 217-737-7581 to help you find a plan that's right for you.
Hello, Lincoln and Logan County. This is Chris Grau from Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln. When it comes time to choose someone to repair your car, truck, or SUV, don't you think you'd feel more comfortable working with the local people you know and trust? Our team in service, parts, and detail have the tools, training, and knowledge that will get your repairs done quickly with less downtime and at the right price. Call the local pros at 217-735-4444 at Grau Chevrolet Buick on North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln.
Hi, welcome back to 96.3 FM WLCN. Please, folks, if you have any questions, comments, please, you're welcome to call in 217-648-5510. We're talking about the Pink Pumpkin auction and also the American Cancer Society. The Pink Pumpkin auction, mark your calendars, Thursday, October 3rd at Collision Concepts. Doors open at 5 o'clock. There's going to be food. I say fellowship also. Bantering of friends. The Tucker brothers are going to be our auctioneers, Cody and Ty Tucker. The live auction starts around 6:15. Silent auction is anywhere between 5 to 6. And if a couple of people are kind of going back and forth on some items, they'll probably hold it open for you for a little bit to be the winning bidder. But nonetheless, please come out and join and give to a good cause. While we were off the air, we kind of briefly mentioned talking about Relay for Life. I know years past I helped, and we had some Relay for Life's, races or walks going on here in Logan County. But things have kind of changed, things change. But anyway, you want to touch base on that a little bit and kind of give like a history or an update for us?
We used to do the big relay that we did in person, and it started out being an all-night event. We would stay up all night and walk and celebrate. And it kind of went to the wayside during COVID. COVID can be blamed for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But they couldn't have it because it was a public event, and we weren't allowed to have public events. That's when the American Cancer Society started doing Relay for Life online. And you can become a walker, you can sign up, you can be on a team, you can raise money. They just stopped holding the big group meets. Mm-hmm.
Well, they have some, and they're in larger areas. McLean County has one. I mean, they still have relays, mm-hmm. but we don't have one in Logan County. Right. But we have our relay team still. So we thought, well, even though they don't have the big rally and multiple teams, because there's nobody organizing that right now, we can still have our team and give to American Cancer because we still believe in the cause. And it's like, just because you can't walk doesn't mean you can't give. So that's why we continue on the way we do. And Nila and I decided, at Lincoln Daily News, we wanted to keep that going. And so we have all kinds of basic information about American Cancer resources in our office, and it's 365 days a week. It's not just during October. It's mm-hmm. not just during this auction that we do this. We raise money all year long, and if you want to walk in with a check for American Cancer, we'll make sure they get it. So
yeah. That's wonderful. So. And as you said, COVID's changed things, I guess we can say. Let's try to. Yeah. So being a Debbie Downer, but we got to, accept that it's changed. What else has the changes been since 2020 that we've seen locally that people are like, that used to be, in 2019 going on, that used to be in 2018, and now it's kind of like, where do I find that? How, for locally, what other programs has things changed since 2020 locally?
Well, I think sometimes we think that because we can't do it the way we used to, it's not going on, and it is. I mean, we still have people with cancer. We still have people trying to raise money for cancer, and so we always wiggle a new way, you know. So now the American Cancer Online has virtual events all the time, and you can always go in and sign in to do a day where they're raising money doing this or doing that, and so they've evolved into a virtual format other than just out into the communities trying to make big rallies, although they do that as well. So if you're old school and want to do a relay, you can get online and you can find a team and go and walk, you know. But there are millions of ways that they try to enlist people to do things because they know cancer is still going on, and they know there's people who want to give and people who are touched by it. And their website is just amazing. There isn't anything on there that you can't find an answer to, and they have a 24-hour hotline. So if you need to talk to somebody, you know, they're there. We support this because we know the overhead for this organization is low and their resources are vast, and they are continually trying to meet the challenges that are, you know, in front of us today. So they're evolving with us and trying to support us in such a rich way that that's why we support American Cancer.
And they are very supportive of our group. We get a lot of information that they provide for us, the pamphlets that we have in our office. We are not technically supposed to call ourselves an information center, but we have information available on all types of resources through American Cancer Society. And then just kind of curving off of your question, I think that 2020, we had to stop and pivot on a lot of things. I know we did as a business. We could no longer send people out into the field, and we had to come up with other ways to drum up business, to have content so that we could justify advertising. We also gave away a lot of free advertising because we knew that some of our small businesses were struggling, and we knew that they would remember us when they got back on their feet. Some great things that came about. Raising money for first responder meals and taking food to the emergency rooms. Those things have kind of continued on. And so that was a bad situation turned good. And you see that from time to time. I see now that we're kind of working our way back into being a communal society where that we're out and about and enjoying the things we used to enjoy. But that year to 18 months, that was rough. And a lot of people had to figure out how to pivot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And some of them didn't recover, unfortunately. You know, and that's what's really sad is we look at not only our local colleges, but a lot of the colleges around the country suffered tremendously because they could not collect tuitions.
Right.
And so there were some really bad hurts, but then there were some good things that came out of it too.
Right. So touching base on Lincoln Daily News, you guys briefly mentioned the pink shirts. Could you just, you know, go more in depth, please, and how, you know, our listeners can take part in that? You know, what's that all about? All the details about that there. So.
Well, sure. Originally, the whole idea is to get people to wear pink shirts just because it's the breast cancer month. And we do this free. We will come to a business or an organization and take a picture, or they can take a picture and submit it to us. But every day in October, and sometimes beyond because we have so many, we put them in the paper free. And what we tell the people that we go to is that we don't want anybody to fight alone. We want this to be a shared event where people who are going through cancer, or even if they're the caregivers or survivors, that they know that Logan County cares about what they're going through. And so it's a mark of solidarity that nobody should stand alone, and that we are with you, and that we love you, and that we want you to know that you're not alone in this. So that's what the pink shirts are all about.
So do we get the pink shirts from you, or do we just go out and
whatever you want to wear that's
wear
pink.
anything?
And you don't have to wear pink.
Okay.
We have signs that you can hold to show your support. You don't have to wear pink. When we started this, we were going to do Pink Shirt Fridays, and we would run the photos on Friday. And the first year, we had way too many to try and run them all on Friday. I think at our height and glory, we had right before COVID, 1,300 souls that were included in a photo of some sort. Some folks would just take their own pictures, individuals, and send them to us. We had pink puppies, we had pink people, we had businesses, organizations, clubs, not-for-profits, the hospital. The hospital gathers all of their people up that are on duty at that given time for their schedule and take the picture.
Yeah, the courthouse did it, Rotary, I mean, just different
The
organizations.
city of Lincoln does it.
Yeah.
So, we got a lot of response, more than we even expected.
But a lot of people have been affected by cancer and know 'em.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing. We know people I know people from Chicago and Springfield and St. Louis that when they try to do a cancer event, it just kind of falls because the community isn't the community that Logan County is. And so the only reason this is successful is because everybody pitches in.
Absolutely. And we had mentioned Cindy and Irv. I want to just really quick mention the food. We talk about the food. The food is donated. And it's like 200 people last year. They brought in enough food for 200 people and ran out. It's donated by Brad and Jennifer Luckhart.
From Nut Hatch Hill.
Yeah, every penny, is out of their pocket. Joe and Michelle Ryan bring in their wine collections, and they serve drinks. And it's just, one of Cindy's buddies makes like 300 cupcakes with pink ribbons on them. We have all kinds of tremendous things. This year, Woods and Bates is one of their office assistants, Kate Andrews, is going to be doing our balloon hoop for the photos, for the photo booth. And that's new this year. And then we have such tremendous donors. One of the things that we're going to have this year, in the past we have raffled, and we decided this year to put it in the live auction. Central Illinois Ag in Atlanta, they donate a pedal tractor, Case IH pedal tractor, and a little wagon. Then Darren Shamp, also from Atlanta, he paints it pink. And it is absolutely adorable. And this year he couldn't find ribbons he liked, so he used his little machine, whatever it is, and created the artwork for the ribbons to put on the tractors and the wagon. Well, it's just on the tractor. And then the little wagon's got Relay for Life on the back of it. So absolutely, it is not just about the committee. It's about the entire county. And beyond. We have people come here from Springfield. My sister lives in Southern Illinois, and she comes up here to the Pink Pumpkin.
Wonderful.
We know that. It draws a lot of people, but it is the people who deserve all the credit.
Absolutely.
For 3 years in a row, the Friends and Family Relay Team is what our team is called, has been the #1 fundraiser in the state of Illinois.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
And that has nothing to do with us.
No, not at all.
It has everything to do with the people.
It takes a village.
It does.
Absolutely.
It really, really
Absolutely.
does.
Absolutely.
So, and we do. We have wonderful small businesses, individuals here in Logan County that care and love. So what questions do you have for our guest, Lloyd?
Do you know some of the items that are going to be auctioned yet? Have some of those started to roll in
They're just
yet?
starting to come in.
They're just starting, but one of the things ladies will want to know about is we have a Dooney and Brooke pink handbag. That thing is valued at $400. It was donated by Gaynor Goodman, who is a cancer survivor, by the way. Congratulations to her. Rent One sent us in a signature Hope chest, about the same dollar value as the purse, about $400. Four Corners donated a Husqvarna chainsaw. I don't know for sure what that thing's worth, but it's
about
worth quite a bit.
$400 too.
Then
We
of
can
course,
have Jim bid on that
Yeah.
for the pear trees out here.
we mentioned the bike and the pink quilt already. Kathleen Brumbaugh, the lady that we were talking about, she does the tie blankets. She takes survivor T-shirts and cuts the backs of them into her oblongs and then ties them all together, and she donates one every year, and the lady who buys it gives it to a cancer warrior.
Oh, that's touching. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so those blankets are always serving the purpose they were intended to, to be a motivator. And so we really appreciate those. And the pink tractor is just phenomenal. Then we'll have lots of other items that will come in. And then typically we will have something or other that will come in the night of that we didn't know was coming, and
big surprise.
There it is. And we are just really happy about it. Another thing that we do, and I don't talk about this when Karen does, is the luminaria.
Okay, the luminaries are bags that we put lights in, but on those bags they have in memory of or in honor of somebody. And we've put them out there trying to get people to purchase them, $10 a bag for a name. And so we put that at the auction, in front of the auction, and then that actually starts off the auction night. We have a moment of silence for people who have passed, and just a time to reflect about those that are in our midst that night that are fighting, and just, it's a surreal time of trying to unite each other together in the cause for what's going to come in the auction. This is why we're here. And so we have forms in our office at Lincoln Daily News, and we've mailed out lots of them. And so if you have names of people that you want to have in memory of or in honor of, come to our office and we'll be able to do that. They'll also be available at the auction that night prior to everything starting. If you walk in, we've got a table set up for people to buy luminaria right on the spot. So we'll make that available. That's something that we've had in the past, but we're really pushing this year because every dime that we make goes to American Cancer, so it's just another way to give.
And folks, if you're wondering if you guys have a Facebook page.
We do.
It's Pink Pumpkin Fundraiser Auction.
Yes.
And you guys do a wonderful job, I know, at keeping that updated for folks and with information. And if you are not tech savvy and on Facebook, you can contact Lincoln Daily News, obviously, and also the Guyettes there at Collision Concepts with any questions that you may have.
Yeah, and another one we wanted to mention out loud is Annie Coors. She is on our team. And if you have something you want to donate or you have something that you would like to ask, you can get in touch with her too. Of course, she's with Tremont National Bank, and she's from the New Holland area. We draw people from all over, but she's on our committee, so we're real pleased to have her with us.
And our salesperson, Chastity White, she and I go around collecting these, and it's just so much fun to walk in and pick something up because people have so much invested in the gift because of the cause that we've heard so many stories about people who have cancer or has been fighting cancer. They know and they share those stories, and it's so heartwarming and heartbreaking at times.
And I guess I can say a lot of love went into these donations, folks.
Absolutely.
I mean, seriously. And there's a lot of love there at the auction and fellowship,
There is. Another thing, just to be a name dropper because it's important to me personally, Bill Post is involved with us, and he will be there the night of the auction. He'll be helping sell luminaria. Tonita Reifsteck. Now, people who know that those two are long-time supporters of American Cancer Society and Relay for Life. And I think Bill was at the first Relay for Life in Logan County and has been active in it ever since. And he will be there selling the luminaria the night of. We'll have some gift bag thingies. We call them mystery bags.
Yeah.
People will donate small items, and we put a whole bunch of things in a bag and sell them like a $10 bag and a $20 bag. What we try to do is we know that some of these items are going to be bringing big bucks, and people are going to say, I don't have that kind of money, but I want to do something.
Yeah. Right.
So we have some smaller ticket things that we are purposefully designed so that the luminaria, $10 a bag, that's not a great deal of money, but yet you have something special there. You have a bag with your person's name on it, and at the end of the night, you can pick that bag up and take it home with you.
And again, touch base, a nice free donated meal from Nuthatch Hill. Again, and kudos to Brad and Jennifer. I mean, that's a lot of time and effort and hard work in that. Beverages, from Joe and Michelle Ryan. So that's, have a nice meal and enjoy the fellowship. And
we'll also have pink pumpkins, plastic pink pumpkins with donations, for donations. So a lot of people, come with money, and so if they don't spend it, they still got a place they can slip money in and give to the cause. So
that's wonderful. Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming up here and visiting with us and educating us, everything American Cancer Society and this wonderful auction event coming up. Again, it is October 3rd at Collision Concepts. Doors open up at 5. Again, you can check them out on Facebook, Pink Pumpkin Fundraiser Auction. Contact Lincoln Daily News, the Gayettes, Annie Kors at Tremont National Bank. We appreciate it. So
thanks for having us.
If I may, one last thing. Anyone who wants to know more about American Cancer Society, their website is www.cancer.org. And so you can go on there, and they, as I said, very transparent. So feel free to go out there and check them out.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Folks, that's it for our show today. The Lord and weather willing, we'll be back next week.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.